Yo, yo, yo. Good morning, folkers. Good afternoon. Good evening, wherever you're at in the world. Snapzilla Gorilla. Welcome to the definition of anarchy. What I want to talk about today on June 20th, 2020 is the destruction of statues. All right? I want to talk about the destruction of statues. You know, this country was founded on a lot of things, including slavery. All right. Slavery was a big deal. Slavery helped build and mold this country into what it is today. No denying that. And yes, indeed, there were slaves. The slave trade was all over the world. No denying that. No denying that the slave trade was all over the world. And, you know, if you stick to the United States, it was 90% to 99% of the slaves in the United States were black. Okay. So when you attack the straw men of the slaves all over the world, well, what we're talking about is United States slavery. Okay. But let's understand something. Slavery didn't really end until the 1800s. Okay. Then into the 1800s. And, you know, a lot of people, a lot of government, a lot of corporations, a lot of plantation owners own slaves. And some of them, the more famous of those people, have statues all across the country. Okay. I understand, you know, people get emotional and triggered by seeing these statues, seeing the Confederate flag, seeing the swastika. But when you go out of your way and use precious energy to attack inanimate objects that have no bearing on what the oppression we're suffering under today, you're not accomplishing anything. We're not accomplishing anything by burning, toppling statues, destroying statues. We're not accomplishing anything when we do that. Because what's the goal? What's the goal of the protesting? What's the goal of the rioting, the looting, the destruction of statues? What's the purpose of that? It's to get the attention of the powers that be, correct? That's what you want when you do all these things. Everything you're doing, you're acting out to get attention, to bring attention to your plight or whatever the case may be. So, but when you do things like that, you're getting not just the attention of government functionaries, police departments and all that. You're also gaining the attention of the people who may support your cause if only you did it, went about it the right way. You understand? So those who would otherwise support the cause and probably wake up to the fact that we're all being held under some form of slavery right now, you're going to lose any support you might have had from different types of people. All right. Now, I know we like to think, and I used to think this way. When I was running with the Black Power movement, when I was running with that, I used to think we don't need the help of anybody but black people. We don't need, you know what I'm saying? We need to reach a state of sovereignty for black people. That was the focus, right? That was the focus. But the people we reached out to, the people that we would essentially tell that we wanted, the people that we wanted the freedom from, the people that we wanted the sovereignty from, because, you know, we felt like black people were being oppressed, heavily oppressed in this system. So we would go after the oppressor. What we essentially did were protesting, marching, things like that. What you're doing when you do that is you're asking your oppressor, you're begging your oppressor to stop oppressing you. Well, the whole point of the oppressor oppressing you is to oppress you. They don't want to stop. We missed the important point here. It's not just black people being oppressed. It's the proletariat in general. It's the people that are not that are not part of the elite cabal that are being oppressed. Yes. One people group might be more oppressed than the other people group. Yes, of course. Is there a disparity? Yes, there is. But at the end of the day, none of us are free. None of us are truly free. So in order to achieve true freedom, we need to reach everybody that is oppressed. We need to reach everyone that's oppressed. Not just black people, not just white people. Everyone. Everyone who's oppressed needs to be free for everyone to be free. You're not just going to gain freedom for black people. If you're in the black power movement, you're not just going to gain freedom for black people. It's not going to happen without everybody wanting to get free. You understand what I'm saying? If we live in this country, or we live in this world where everybody is essentially being oppressed, if you're not, like I said, a part of the elite cabal, you're not going to get anywhere if you just seek freedom for your people group. The key is to have everyone want to seek true freedom. But when we do things like tear down statues and burn this and do that, the message gets lost among other types of people. People of a different culture. You understand? So we're wasting precious energy, toppling statues, burning down buildings, doing this, doing that. And the people that don't agree with your message they don't appreciate the fact that you're doing these things. So guess what? They're going to be even more firmly cemented in their cognitive dissonance. They're going to be even more firmly cemented in their statism. Because let's face it, most people are statists. Most people love the police. Most people want rulers to rule over them and to rule over you. The goal should be to not have rulers. And if you're going out there and you're saying, if you make it about race every time, if you make everything about race, even though, you should wait until it really is a racial issue and until you find out for sure. Then you can say, see, what you got to say about that? Then you'll get, so like with the case with Ahmaud Arbery, comes to find out that Travis McMichael might have called Arbery an effing N-word. And he said that word before on a social media account. Now, before that, people were bringing up race. They were saying that, they were racially profiling them. They traced them down. They chased them down because they were racist and they wanted to kill a Negro. That may have very well been true. But until the facts come out that prove that, let's not make it about race. Let's make it about one human being hunting down another human being and killing them when they had no right. It'll be easier to bring people on board with that than to just come out with the racist shit. So now, when you find out that Travis McMichaels called Arbery an effing N-word, then you can say, well, obviously, that was racially motivated. So the people that can constantly tell you, there's no such thing as racism, racism don't affect you, and you can say, obviously it does. So we need to be real about racism in this country. To flat out deny it, to flat out act like it doesn't exist, complete and utter nonsense. Because see, what you had was people came out with the racist angle prematurely. Then people like Brandon Tatum and Anthony Bryan Logan and some white conservatives and other people like that, Candace Owens. Well, I don't think Candace Owens. Yeah, she talked about it. Completely denied the racist angle, completely, because there was nothing to prove that it was racist. So now what? When the racist angle does come out, what does Brandon Tatum say? If he was racist, it might not matter. It may not matter if he was racist, if he was defending himself. Well, we obviously know he wasn't defending himself. Arbery was defending himself for someone who tried to cut him off twice in the middle of the road as he was going about his business. And Travis McMichael may or may not have raised a weapon toward him, so he went around the other side. How is that self-defense? So his thing is, it doesn't matter if you're racist if you can prove self-defense. Excuse me. You see how the goalpost has moved? If you're racist and you kill somebody, unless it was planned for 2 weeks and it was premeditated, then it don't matter if you was racist. Then you can see the foolery coming out of people's mouth like that. Then you can say, look, you see this idiot who's saying if you're racist, it doesn't matter if you kill somebody? If you kill a black man that you called a fucking nigger after you killed him, it doesn't matter if you're racist. No, it don't matter. It don't matter. Miss me with this is what I'm talking about. So we have to go about things the smarter way. Tearing things down, blowing shit up, doing this, doing that. You're playing right into the hands of the elitist. You're playing right into the hands of the cabal, the Zionists, who want to divide us and want to start a race war. They want to start a race war. That's why you have people shooting people, guarding statues, people guarding statues, shooting people, like black men being found hung, white men pulling up in Akron to the stop sign and shooting random black people. This is the type of shit you get. Now, those people were going to commit those acts anyway, right? So I'm not saying that if we did not start burning shit down and all this other shit, that wouldn't happen. But it actually happened because of this. You know, listen, well, it's not smart. Because guess what? If you go about it the smarter way, you'll still have the racists come out and try to start problems with you and all this other shit. They'll come out and you can deal with them accordingly. But you don't want to drive people further into that direction by doing this, that, and the third. Because guess what? They feel like you're going to come after them because they're white. Just like we feel like white people going to come after us because we white, we black. So you just have to bring attention to the fact that we're all under a system of oppression and that we all need to focus our energies on what's really important, and that's gaining freedom in a smart way. Because what's going on right now, once all this shit dies down, all the rioting, all the toppling of statues, all this, that, and the third, all that's going to do is sink us further into oppression. They're going to come up with laws and bans and restrictions that are going to take more of our rights away. And that's what we don't need. You have to deal with the racists as they come. You can't force racism on everybody. You can't force everybody to be racist. Okay? We have to go about it a smarter way. I have experienced racism in my life. My grandmother would call me the little N-words when I piss her off. She was mad because her oil-bearing father cut her off because she got pregnant by a black dude. So I experienced racism before I was even born, right? If my grandmother got with a white man and had a baby, and had babies with a white man, and then my mother was white and gave birth to me and I was white, I would have inherited a large fortune from my oil-bearing grandfather. That's true racism. That's true explicit racism that is proven. You understand? That's I can call that racism because it actually happened. It actually happened. My grandfather cut my grandmother off. I mean, my great-grandfather, my white great-grandfather cut my grandmother off because she had a black baby. But her sister, who was also what they call slumming, down in the hood, around black people, wanted that black dick, she got that black dick too, but she didn't get pregnant. So guess what? She got the money. She got the money. She got the money. Other members of the family got the money. See, that's actual racism that I can actually speak on. You understand? Yes, these people were slave owners. George Washington was a slave owner. I don't think Ulysses S. Grant was a slave owner. I don't know why they did that. Thomas Jefferson, Lee, the General Lee, and all this. They were slave owners. And yes, they weren't great people. But what is tearing down that statue going to do? It's wasted energy. We can put our energy toward other things, more important things. Like finding out how we can navigate through the system and actually get freedom. Putting our heads together. Brainstorming, spitballing, coming up with real ideas. Real, tangible ideas that will result in something powerful. But no, we can't do that right now because we're too busy tearing shit up. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. Do you guys think that tearing down statues is a waste of energy? Or do you think that the symbolism behind it is going to reach the masses and everybody's going to want to force the government to give us our freedom back? Or do you think that is going to further drive a wedge between the people, right? Between different groups of people that could converge and come together for a common cause? Do you think it's going to just create more division and spark some type of race war? Essentially, we already are in a race war right now. It's just in the beginning stages. So, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. I'm about freedom for everyone. All right, I'm about true freedom for everyone. You have the freedom and the right to hate someone, right? You have the freedom and the right to be a race, to be a prejudiced bigot, right? As long as you don't act on that bigotry and that prejudice on me, as long as you don't act on it toward me in a negative way, then I'm gonna have to handle you. But until then, I've been called all kind of N-words throughout my entire life. It's nothing to me. But as soon as they approach me in a menacing manner, that switch gets flipped. And that's how we have to approach life, man. We got to stop worrying about words and, sticks and stones, right? Sticks and stones. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. And like, share, subscribe, whatever you want to do. Let's keep pushing forward toward freedom. Stop wasting our energy. Stop wasting our energy destroying inanimate objects that can't do anything to us. Erasing history is not going to erase the past. You understand what I'm saying? It's not going to erase the shit that happened. Much love to you guys.